Hello, hello, hello. It must be Tuesday night, for I'm here and Andrew's there. He's the only one. There's no one else here. Just me and Andrew. It's good if you start like this. It means that other people can warm up the seat for you, if you know what I mean. And it's nice when the seat's warm, isn't it? It's nice. You don't have to worry about things. So how is everybody? You all right? Good. I'm glad everyone's all right. Oh, what do you want to talk about? It's just me and Andrew. He's talking about Rick Davies of Supertramp, who snuffed it, and he says, great typo, Supertramp, I guess they were kind of groggy. Yeah, they were, weren't they? And he corrects and says proggy. Not for me, utterly dull. Dullsville, USA, wasn't it? The Logical song and all that stuff. And will they have breakfast in America? And bloody well right, you're bloody well right, bloody well right. That one. Dull music. Not for me. There we go. So, so that's that then. Well, that's the Supertramp fans annoyed. I'm more Supergrass than Supertramp, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Mind you, you do have coming, is it October? The 20th anniversary edition of Road to Raw by Supergrass, so keep your eyes for that. Right. It should be delightful, he says, delightful. Liam's in, he says, evening, see Sony milking the Pink Floyd cash cow. Yeah, I haven't really seen what they've have they announced anything? I know that they've kind of, what was they doing? They put the cover, the bin bag cover up on the Floyd Facebook page. So because it's the 50th anniversary of Wish You Were Here, which is probably one of my least favourite of the Floyd albums. I find it again a bit like Supertramp, utterly dull. You've only got the Wish You Were Here, and that's that really. So they also blanked out all the artwork on the streaming services and replaced the artwork with short, pithy descriptions of what the album cover looked like. It's like, oh great, that's great. I think I said on the Pink Floyd Facebook page, Sony wants your money because. Oh, Alex is in. He says, good evening. Good evening to you. Because you've got to remember now. You've got to remember from this moment onwards, well, since Pompey came out, every time you buy a Pink Floyd product, it's a Sony product. It's not Pink Floyd, it's Sony. So Dark Side of the Moon, Sony Music. Wish You Were Here, Sony Music, because the band they got their paycheck. They're done. It's over, and you're just paying your money to Sony, and that is it now. So it's like here we go. It's not a good thing, is it? Is it really? Is it a good thing? I don't know. I don't know. I think it is a good thing. Just see if there's any news. I'm just trying to find if there's any news. Oh, here we go. Is there any news of it? No, not really. Everyone's buzzing. It's buzzing. People are buzzing. They're saying it could be a 50th anniversary edition. It could be. So yeah, get your money ready. Need your money. But what we have done more importantly, he said, more importantly, Tortoise announce they've got a new album coming out. Oh yeah, and that's much more interesting, isn't it? Well, it is for me, probably not for you lot, because you lot only like men in capes singing about hobbits, whereas, you know, some of us like things are progressive. Yeah, on the 24th of October, though it says here 11th of November on all streaming platforms. That's interesting. So the physical release is actually out a good fortnight before the streaming release. I didn't realise that. But yeah, they've got a new album out called Touched, which is out on October the 24th and out on streaming on November 11th. And yeah, so here is the album artwork. It's called Touch, and it's the first album in 9 years. They're off of the Thrill Jockey record label now, and are on International Anthem and None Such. Yes, I have pre-ordered a copy. I've pre-ordered the fancy coloured vinyl edition at great expense because they ship from America. So I think I paid $40 for it. So who knows, that price could go up if Trump puts any more tariffs on coloured vinyl. But there's also a new song called Layered Presence, which you can watch. The video's a bit meh, but if you just like close your eyes, like I did, I went like that and listened to the song, it sounds very much like Tortoise. Well, it would do, wouldn't it? But it sounds like they've gone back to basics, you know. So yeah, it should be interesting. They're also on a tour at the moment. They are playing at the Barbican over here, but the chances of me buying tickets and actually going to a gig I think you've got more chance of Roger Waters packing up and moving to Israel. Wait a minute, I hear a beverage slowly approaching. Thank you for the beverage. So yeah, so that's something to look out for. I think we can all agree, Tortoise, well worth watching and listening to. Yeah, they've recently, funny enough, was it last week? I think it was last week. Released a 12-inch EP of a track called Organessen, and it's a remixes EP. And if I look over there, if I look and I do this, I can see it on my turntable because I've been spinning it. It's got the original track plus a number of remixes of the track, and it took me back to the old days of TNT when, you know, the band allowed various people to remix tracks off of that, and it's a delightful EP. I enjoyed it, and I should probably do a review of it. I shouldn't I? And so I thoroughly recommend that. I'm not sure if it's available on the old streams, but yeah. So I think that's exciting. I had a bit of a trouble with the last album, The Catastrophist. I don't know, it didn't land for me, and that was a bit of a disappointment. So I'm hoping that this one will be an improvement, or at least something I can get my teeth into. The other one just seemed inconsequential. It just didn't really, like I say, it just didn't land. Maybe I was listening to it wrong. Liam says, well, better than the money goes to Sony than a certain Pink Floyd member, cough cough. Roger, is it? I don't think it's, I don't know. You don't want Sony to have the money. Whatever it is, I probably won't be buying it. So, you know, I didn't buy Pompey. One afternoon I might buy the stream, just so I can actually watch it in 4K. Like I said, I'm waiting for a 4K release of that because they're going to do it next year. They're going to say, and here's the 4K edition. Now we've milked you. Now we're going to bring out the 4K Blu-ray edition. But you can only see it in 4K on streaming. So, you know, that's why I haven't bought it. But do I want to give Sony my money? Not particularly. I don't feel enamoured with, again, a lot of these bands who have sold their catalogue on. It's not the band you're supporting, it's the record label. So the very nature of the music biz has changed somewhat, and they're recouping their investments, because they've gone around collecting catalogues, collecting these songs, like their investments, and this is where you're going to start paying in sweat. And this is why, dare I invoke his name, this is why the likes of Rick Beato are having trouble with UMG. I'm just do a timestamp. They can do this timestamp thing. So yeah, if the music business landscape, the music biz TM, the landscape has changed somewhat. And what you've seen over the last 10, 15 years goes back even further than that, really, because there are some like investment companies that have been, and I've forgotten the name of it, there's that big one that's been buying up individual songwriters, like of the hits for years. Have just been like, creating a roster of very streamable, songs that are streamable, so they can ka-ching on it. And that's the nature now of the music biz. It's not about the bands, it's not about the product, it's about recouping their losses and turning music into a continual revenue stream, whether it's by the streaming services or bringing out anniversary editions whenever they hit a date. So yeah, I don't know, it's changed somewhat. You don't get the feeling that you're supporting a band. You're just buying product. You're just keeping the shareholders at Sony or whoever happy. Ow, that feels a bit hot. So yeah, I don't really know what I feel about it, other than more and more disconnected from, like I say, those bands that have sold on the catalogue. And we know that Genesis did it with their later catalogue, and who else has sold? Who else has sold off there? I mean, they've all done it, haven't they? They've all been at it, all of them. Renee's in. He says Watermelon here, and you'd all say hello and ask him how his mood's going. And everyone's having a gay old time, indeed. So yeah, what else do you want to talk about? Oh dear, like I said, I think we've stalled already. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Well, it hasn't resolved itself yet, but it should be fun. Anyway, this Friday, September I think it's the 12th, there's a movie out. So it's the return of Spinal Tap. The End Continues. And to celebrate this, they've brought out an official Spinal Tap book. I thought, oh, that's good. Now, I pre-ordered this book in the spring, I think it was, when I was a younger man. I had a full head of hair and everything. So I got a dispatch notice for it today, early in the morning. I thought, oh, that's nice. My book is coming. Very nice. Now, I've been having a few issues with the post. I had a Nintendo Switch game go on holiday for a while, because I bought it from Cash Converters and they'd folded the label over, so it obscured the first digit of the... I didn't know that. All I know is that a man delivered it, and whilst the postman was delivering it, he had a dating app open on his phone. So it looked like he wasn't concentrating. But anyway, the nice man at that address, which is smaller but kind of shares 2 digits of this address, oh god, a fortnight ago now, 3 weeks ago, time flies, very kindly came and said, oh, we found this under a pile of rubbish. We'd forgot about it. Are you Darren Locke? It was like, God, yes I am. And we had a little exchange and it was very pleasant and everything. So anyway, today I get an email saying, your book has been delivered, Mr. Locke. And I thought, oh, so I skipped downstairs. Giddy with delight, you know. and I open the door, obviously, because otherwise I ain't getting through it otherwise. And I open, my hands shaking, trembling as I open the post box we've got mounted on the wall, and there's nothing in there. It's completely empty. And I'm thinking, oh man. So I have a look behind the bin, look behind the bins like you do. There's nothing there. Oh no, it's happened again. Oh no, but this time it's Amazon. So I come in, and I said to the missus, my Spinal Tap book's gone missing. It's happened again. I thought, well, I'll complain tomorrow. It's a bit late. It's a bit late to be complaining. It's a bit late to be fussing and feuding about a book. So I thought, I'll worry about it. So tonight, took the dog out, just shortly before the live stream. I thought, well, I'll have another look. I'll have another check, So I had a little look behind the bin. It wasn't there. Take the dog out, take her around, come back again, come in the gate. And as I come in the gate, I look at the downstairs neighbour's back door, which is, their number is 10 more than our number. Don't ask, it's confusing. It confuses the postman, confuses everyone. But on their back doorstep was my book. I could see it. I could see Amazon. It's like, that's my book. So I put the dog in. I look out and I think, well, I can't really go this time of night. Can't really go, kind of traipsing around getting my book. And besides, the people downstairs, they've got their window open and they're in there, the lights on. They're going to hear me. They'll probably look out. They'll probably see me lurking like a ne'er-do-well, lurking around their back entrance. And you don't want to lurk around another man's back entrance, do you? No. If you're going to go near a man's back entrance, you want to go in firm and confident. So I'm going to wait till after the live stream when hopefully they've gone to bed and shut their window and the lights are off, and then I'm going in. I'm going in under the cover of darkness, where no man has gone before, onto the back step of the neighbours to retrieve my Spinal Tap book, and she will be mine. Indeed, but I really wish they could employ people that can read numbers. Now, I had a delivery guy. It wasn't every then. It was Hermes. Was it Hermes? They changed their name because they wanted to distance themselves from how bad Hermes was. Don't worry, every is still bad. No, not bad. Paul, Everyman Paul. He's good. I like him because he can read numbers. But the previous guy couldn't read numbers, and he said it. Because he came to me with, well, firstly, he left one of my things over. He transposed numbers. The last 2 digits, he transposed it. Yeah? Transposed it. So it was over the road. And they very kindly brought it over and said, we got your thing here. And I went, oh, thanks. Well, only one day he came here and he brought their thing to me. So he transposed it the other way. He went, oh, and I went, no, that's over there. And he went, oh, I'm always doing that. He says, I've got kind of number dyslexia. I looked at him. The one thing you don't want to have if you're doing a job that involves delivering with numbers is something that makes all the numbers kind of merge. But anyway, I don't know if they fired him. He hasn't done it for many years. Paul, Everyman Paul, he's reliable. I like him. So... And that's the story of my Spinal Tap book. I will retrieve it tonight under the cover of darkness. I will. Mr. Ness, on the subject of reissues, he say, I probably won't buy it, as I find reissues like Pompey, Pink Floyd and Queen's first album aren't bring anything new to the table for me with reissues. I want to be unreleased material. Well, again, the Pompey thing, and that has been out a couple of times. It was on VHS, then it was on DVD, then it was on Blu-ray inside the box, wasn't it? And then we got this new version, and I could have understood it if they did actually if they went the whole deluxe Now that one, why didn't they go the whole deluxe box set route with the Pompey thing and put the Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, the regular Blu-ray, the DVD, the CD and the LP all in a box with a book or something, and 100 quid or so, I don't know, 90 quid, that's the going rate. Why didn't they do that? I'd have bought that just for the 4K, but I feel like we're... Oh, yeah, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. God, that came out of nowhere. Scared the dog and everything. She ran off. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Payne's in. This is evening, Mr. Payne. I hope you're keeping well. Renee says, I think I will put some bitterball in the air fryer. I don't know, mate. Should you be bragging about that kind of weird, perverted behaviour? Putting your balls in the air fryer? I don't know. It's probably some weird continental fetish that they've got. Or it's probably a snack. I don't know. You know them. They're very famous snacks in the Netherlands. No, I don't know. I do not know what you're talking about. It's probably drugs. You know what the Netherlands like, It's probably drugs, isn't it? It's drugs. It's drugs or hardcore pornography. It's one of the two. Liam adds, for example, with Oasis Be Here Now reissue, they put Noel's demos of the song of the album, which made it worthwhile. But yet again, I think, some things. If you're a super fan, you like that stuff. That's all well and good, isn't it? We've all done it. We've all been guilty of it. We've all bought box sets and listened to the demos and put the box set on the shelf, and then years have passed and it's gathered dust. That's what it's for, isn't it? That's what it's for. It's like that Nick Drake one I've got. Just by my thought, I should really put it on the shelf. But I think. I mean, you already had the Wish You Were Here one. God, how long ago was that now? 10 years ago? 12 years ago? I don't know. I think now that the Floyd aren't involved, they could actually do something interesting. They could actually do expanded editions, proper box sets for the era, and provide a pictorial and literary history of the band. I know Gilmour was always against it because he wanted to preserve the mystique of Pink Floyd. It's like, yeah, that was great back then, but now you're a legacy act. You're not releasing any albums. You're not touring. Now you need to celebrate, the members of the band and the work that you've done. So Sony could come at it from a different angle and do the whole, like the Jethro Tull. I'm pointing. Trust me, they're on the shelf there. Jethro Tull style, releases for the albums. But of course, charge 3 times as much, and and do something worthwhile with it. But they probably won't, or probably can't. Again, you don't know what limitations the band has, what restrictions they've put on in the contract. But I think there is a chance here to actually celebrate the legacy of Pink Floyd if they're clever. But who knows? Who knows what's going on? Wish You Were Here for me has always been. It's all right. It's all right. I always find it a bit, sentimental guff, because the old, the Barrett aggrandizement, the mythological status of Barrett. Hey, our founder member went mental. He went mad. He took too many drugs, and here we are. It's gonna. The shadow of Barrett is gonna hang long and heavy over the band, and we're gonna make loads of money on the back of the imagery, both lyrical and visual, of Syd Barrett, and we're gonna do to help him. We're gonna do call to help him. We're not gonna help him. No, in fact, we're gonna stay away from Cambridge because it upsets him. Those memories upset him. We're just gonna leave him on his own, No, we're going to give him. We're going to give him some money. We'll see him all right, but we're not going to help him. Oh no, because having a broken genius leader like Brian Wilson, living with his mother, making art in the basement, is much more romantic than having him all, kind of suited and booted and ready to tour. It's and anyway, Roger doesn't want to give the band back now. He's kind of got used to it. Yeah. Andrew says October is going to be an expensive month. Well, box sets coming out. Well, you've also got September. Don't forget, you've got the Genesis one, you've got the Pete Hammer one. You've got there's loads of stuff coming out, isn't there? There's loads of stuff, but I don't know. Owen says, have you still got the Queen vinyl box set? What, the big one? The big boy? Yes, I have. You know why? Because it's too fucking heavy to lift off the shelf. Too heavy. No, I've kept it because it was something I always wanted. It's more of a grail, I've only played it a couple of times, mainly because it's too heavy to get off the shelf. Really, I need to decant the albums and put them on my record shelf, but then I won't have enough space because they're really big and thick. Just how you like it. I'm just going to take my boots off, alright? I forgot to take my tablets at dinner. And I felt fine. And then I took the dog out, and then I thought, oh fuck, I think I've forgotten to take my tablets because I could feel it. It was like I was having needles shooting everywhere. And I felt a bit of a tightness in my chest and everything. I thought, oh God, I forgot to take my tablets. So when I came back, I took my tablets. So now I'm feeling a little bit like the blood's returning to me. So it's a funny feeling. It's like a warm feeling, slushing through my body. Every orifice is slushing. So yeah, I still have that. Liam says, looking forward to the new Spinal Tap film. What, you are? Is that a statement or a question? You've got to put one of those little curly things with the dot at the end. Otherwise, I don't know what you mean. Because you could be saying you're looking forward to it. If you're asking me if I'm looking forward to it, no, not particularly. I've seen the trailer and I've seen a couple of clips and it looks execrable. Now, was it 92? They did something called The Return of Spinal Tap. It was kind of on the back of their Break Like the Wind album. It's the majesty of rock, the majesty of rule, the donning of the sock, the scoring of the goal. Love that song. It's a good album actually, Break Like the Wind. At the time they brought out, was it Bitch School? And it's actually got the lady on all fours with the glove on the picture disc, and the missus bought it for me as a joke from Woolworths. And on the back you've got the Stonehenge. They actually play at Stonehenge, didn't they? They actually played there, or did they? Ooh. But I'm not really looking forward to it. I don't know. I'll probably watch it when it's on streaming or something. But that film. I've got to put a chapter marker in. I'm using this chapter marker thing, which I just noticed was there. Spinal Tap, this is Spinal Tap, is such an important film for me. It really is. It's one of those defining moments of your life. I've got such fond memories, and I own so many copies of it. And the sequel. I don't know. This sequel, I'm a little bit, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. But no, the original film, I've owned it on many different copies. I've got about 3 different. I've got like the Criterion release, I think, and on DVD. I've got a couple of DVDs, a couple of Blu-rays. I'm going to pick up the 4K when that's released. I've got to import that from America because I didn't deem it fit for us Brits, bastards. But I remember seeing it again. This is when I was hanging around with my school chum Warren, who died this year, and it shocked me to read about it. Because he was just a couple of weeks older than me. He was an Aquarian, I was a Pisces. It was a wet mix, it really was. And he got it in. He got it in on video, and because he'd heard about it. I think he read about it in a magazine. So he got it in, and we put it on, on the VCR, and I think we sat on the floor with our backs to the sofa in front of this film and laughed our heads off, like I said. And at that time, we thought that they were a British band. We thought that they were. We knew it was comedy, but we thought they were Brits. We thought because it seemed so authentic. And then when we finished, I think we rewound it to the beginning again, because I think he had it over the weekend or something, and we watched it again. And of course, we was quoting it, and you know it was just a defining moment. And at that time, you couldn't buy it. It was a rental. It was a rental tape, and it was a good few years later when it was released on. I think it was released on VHS. But I don't think I ever bought it on VHS. I don't think I ever did. I waited until to DVD for some reason. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't available on VHS. But again, it just takes me back to a time. I've got fond memories of it. I've got a Spinal Tap book. I've got Tony Hendra's guy plays Ian Faith, the manager. I've got his biography. So I'm a fan. I'm a real big fan of it, because I think it's one of the funniest things ever. I showed it to Verity. She thought it was hilarious too, even though she didn't quite get a lot of the in jokes, because you've got to be into rock and roll. You've got to be into rock and roll, and again, some of the synchronicity of it, like the Stonehenge bit. Now, when that was coming out, Black Sabbath was touring, and they had Stonehenge too, but they went the other way. It was too big. It was sometimes this Stonehenge wouldn't fit in the arena, and they'd have a little guy dressed as a devil, a person of restricted growth, and he'd paint his face red and wear a red leotard, and he wasn't. Apparently, all accounts, he wasn't a happy little chap. And one night he was drunk, and he was clambering. When they could actually fit it on stage, he was clambering. He was meant to climb across and be the devil on the top of Stonehenge, and he was drunk and he fell off. And again, I think Tony Iommi said, they stole that from us. Couldn't have done. Both events happened synchronicity. It was just, as they were making the film, Black Sabbath was slightly afterwards, and so they couldn't have stolen the idea from Sabbath. It was one of those synchronous things, and that's the beauty of the movie. That's the beauty of the movie. And people say, yeah, but Darren, don't forget the comic strip and the Bad News tour thing. And it's like, Bad News? Nah, not funny. Just not funny. You see, you go from, because there's two ideas here. There's the band that's inept, and are on a downward trajectory. That's funny. They're self-important. They've ideas above their station. So the comedy works, right? With Bad News, they're useless. They think they're okay, but they're useless. They're starting out. They've got no success. They have to con their way into everything. It's just not funny. I don't think the jokes land, I think, and of course, the music is also better with This Is Spinal Tap. So we've put that one to bed. Spinal Tap is better than Bad News Tour from the comic strip. Payne says, hope your mission to get your book goes to plan. It will do. I've been undercover of the darkness before, and I'm experienced, but this is going into enemy territory, so wish me luck. I don't know whether to burn some cork, and go full camouflage. This is where you need a balaclava, but I ain't got one. Stipend says, bless you, indeed. It was a big sneeze. It really was. Liam says, all Pink Floyd biopic film. Since that type of thing is popular at the moment, Queen, Elton, Robbie Williams, Elvis, Dylan, etc. would be a good way for Sony to get some cash from the Floyd name. Well, you see what you do there is you don't do a Floyd film. What you do is you do it like the Queen film, but you only concentrate on the Syd Barrett part of it, and then end it when he begins his walk from London to Cambridge, and you just have him walking along the motorway barefoot, and that's how it should end. And then they can just put ... question mark and never bring out the rest of it. Or they could do what the Beatles are doing with they did 5 films, 6 films if you include Polly Sampson. That would be the most popular, film, where the story is told from the perspective of each member of the band. That'd be great. Renee says, this is controversial. I'm going to bookmark this. And this is an interesting question. Rene's brought up an interesting topic. He says, I finally threw away a double LP, a double CD, and 1 CD by Roger Waters after his stupid talk about Ozzy. Have you ever got to that point where an artist or a band have just caused you to go, no more? I have, a number of times. So of course, probably the biggest one is that band, and I got rid of a significant amount of their CDs and box sets and extraneous material. I did a cut-off point. I went, everything post 2003 can go, and that's what I did. Yeah, I think I did that. That was my rule, and I got rid of it. I sold it. I just sold it. Do I miss it? No, not particularly, because I kept the original albums. You see, I kept my vinyl that I collected. I kept the CDs that I bought when they came out on day of release, because they've got memories. They've got memories, actual memories, and going to gigs and and being a part of that thing. So I still want those memories, because me and the missus went. There's memories involved. But a lot of the extraneous stuff gone. Poof. And I bought guitars with the money. So that's one band. Roger Waters is another. Not that I owned a great deal of Roger Waters stuff. I owned a couple of bits of his vinyl. But when he started acting the goat, it was like, you're out, son. You're gone. You're history. But that band and the featured artists have been very much part of my wrath. And so has it happened to you? Has an artist done or said something that's made you go, no more, and no more? Mind you, that's also actually it also with bands like Public Service Broadcasting. I got rid of a load of their stuff because they kept going on about the EU and being part of Europe, and I thought, fuck them, because it was getting boring. It just starts getting boring. I thought, and they were repeating themselves anyway. So, so I just, I thought I'd get some money, back on the vinyls. So, I think sometimes you do kind of reach a natural end with an artist. But tell me about it in the comments box below. I doubt if anyone will. But if you're here, present, if you're in the present, in the comment box, tell me your story. What was the tipping point? It might not be a political thing. It might be you just had enough. You just think, I'm done with this. It might be someone sold their catalogue. I'm done with this. Let me know. Liam says, I know what you mean, Renee. I love Pink Floyd, but Roger's views and opinions over the past few years are tainting their music for me. Yeah, again, I look at the Pink Floyd collection, because I've got a sizable Pink Floyd vinyl collection now, because I collected all the reissues under the Pink Floyd records. When they were independent, when they were on an indie label. I purposefully collected all the reissues, because they were quite good, actually. I thought they did quite a good job of it. Restored the artwork properly, and I thought the pressings were decent. For the money. You've got to remember, this is when vinyl was largely 15 quid. You could pick them up for 15 quid a pop, rather than like 30, 35 like you do now, before it all went a bit stupid. So there were some nice pieces. I quite liked the Animals vinyl. when that came out. Not the remix version. I mean, that's fine. It's all right. I can't say I love it, but I really like the Animals album, and I had that on vinyl when I was a teenager. And when they, no, I mean, I played it to death. That's one reason I got rid of it. It was crackly. I dumped it in the second-hand record shop and traded it in for something else years ago. So when that came out of vinyl, I was quite looking forward to it, and I thought they did a good job of it. And I like the fact that they actually got the artwork right this time. A lot of people complained about the artwork, but that was the colour it was meant to be. Because if you pick up any book that features the like Storm Thorgerson and Hypnosis, if you look at their sleeves, sometimes you'll see the full page spread of the Animals picture, and that's the proper colour. That was what it was meant to be. But when it came out, it was all dark and kind of dismal and brown, like the 70s. It was a bit too 70s, and it was meant to be more blue and more, I guess it was, maybe they just thought it was a bit too jolly. But if you go and look at the original prints, you'll see them. That was what they were meant to be. That's what Storm Thorgerson wanted. But it turned out differently. So I was quite pleased when they did that. I know a lot of people weren't. It was like, well, that's what it's meant to look like. And, so yeah. What do you think? Please tell me in the comments box below. Any more? 3 more. Liam says, Lost Prophets are a band I can no longer listen to due to Ian Watkins. Feel sorry for the rest of the band members. He's got the wrong Ian Watkins. That I do declare. No. You don't know that song. Because there are 2 Ian Watkins. One of this song was written by I can't say the name. CUNT and the gang. And the lyrics are very, very good. We all heard what Ian Watkins did. It sent my mate Paul in a rage. He'd just had a baby himself, so he went on Ian's Facebook page. He left a message saying you're sick and twisted and I hope that you die. But when I saw it on there, I commented, lol, and here's the reason why. I said, you've got the wrong Ian Watkins, mate. It's that what made me smile. You just called the bloke from Steps a twisted paedophile. He shares his name and was in a band. The similarity ends there. He'd never fuck a baby. Just ask Lee, Lisa Faye and Claire. My mate Paul was so embarrassed. He went online to apologise. But when I saw what he'd done, I couldn't believe my eyes. It got them mixed up again. Ruffle. So I said, you've got the wrong Ian Watkins, mate. That's what made me smile. You've just said sorry to a twisted paedophile. You've got the wrong Ian Watkins, mate. That must be hard to take. You've just apologised to H's kid fiddling namesake. But then I thought to myself, what if the old Bill got confused, just like my old mate Paul, by 2 pop stars that shared the name? Maybe I should give them a call and say, Megalows, have you got the right Ian Watkins there? Have you considered, maybe, what if it was H from Steps that tried to rape that baby? And they'd say to me, we've got the right Ian Watkins, mate. Your song is a disgrace. CH from Steps has never taken meth or pissed on a schoolgirl's face, as far as we know. There you go, that's the wrong Ian Watkins. There we go, great song, sung a cappella by yours truly. I hope I don't get a copyright claim. That would be most embarrassing. But yeah, do go and check that guy out. He is very, very twisted. Very, very twisted indeed. He ain't ever coming out, is he? He got sentenced to God. I can't believe we're talking about this. Oh well, this will get us demonetised. Not that I make any money out of the live streams. Hassle. But yeah, he got sent down for a very long time because he was a very, very naughty boy. Very, very naughty. So, anymore, I mean, Liam's completely derailed everything by his Lost Prophets thing. I mean, I must admit, I was never familiar with their work. You know, I didn't really, you know, I just shrugged, went, I went on that, went, and then I read the details and went, he did what? But there you go, that's rock and roll, isn't it? That's rock and roll for you. So anyway, anyone else want to talk about anything else? Any subjects you'd like to broach? Maybe you've got a problem. Maybe a love affair has gone wrong. Or you've got a particularly weird looking bunion. We're here for you in the comment section. Please tell us your problems. And we'll promise not to laugh. I promise. I don't know about them though. Those guys. They're twisted. They're twisted. I mean, that guy there, that Liam, he's a Lost Prophets fan, and we know what happened to their lead singer. God blimey! Oh dear. It was like that time when Phil Spector shot that woman in the head, wasn't it? Oh, I got rid of all me Phil Spector records. Yeah, me do Rons. He went wrong, didn't he? He did. And then there was the wigs. Did you see Phil Spector in court? That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest things ever, right? And then they made him go on without a wig. If they got the wigs of Phil Spector, now that should be a movie in itself, isn't it? The wigs of Phil Spector. Did I dream it, or did Al Pacino play Phil Spector in a movie? Did I dream that? Maybe I did. Here we go. There are many faces of Phil Spector. Here we go. Each one more scary than the other one. That one, he looks like Pee Wee Herman. Yeah, and the one down here looks like Jean-Michel Jarre. That's not the best one. The best one is when he's without the wig. If I can pull that up. Where is it? Have we got? Where's all the images? Yeah, that's the one. Here you go. And that's where he looks like a complete and utter rat fink. Ay. Yeah. Yeah, see, I was right. Look, it did happen. It did happen. Look. There was a movie. Oops. Yeah, Al Pacino. Though he does look a bit more like Robert Downey Jr. there than Al Pacino. But yeah, there was an HBO movie about Phil Spector. Of course, we can never forgive what he did to the Beatles. No. It wasn't Yoko that broke up the Beatles. It was Phil Spector. He loved getting a gun out, didn't he? And pistol whipping people. That's not nice. So anyone out there, did you sell your Phil Spector records on? Maybe, after you dumped your Phil Spector records on eBay, you were then disgusted by the antics of Pete Townsend, who was only doing it for research purposes. And again, that's the defence now. Remember, if the police pull you in, it's a no comment interview unless you feel confident to roll out the officer, I was only doing it for research purposes defence. Again, you've got to be incredibly brave to pull that one off. But Mr. Townsend did. Bit embarrassing for old Rog there, you know, in the noughties, because the Who would roll into town on their US tours, and I shit you not, they'd put up paedophile warnings, you know, on the lampposts, saying there was a paedophile in town. And there will be people that say he is innocent, but he accepted a caution, a formal caution, which is a declaration of guilt, so he wasn't. Still got me Who albums though, because there was 4 of them. You see, there was 4 of them, and there's only one of them was a little bit naughty. Keith Moon, he never did anything wrong. He was a good boy. He behaved himself. Entwistle, he died like a rock and roller, having sex with a prostitute, massive load of cocaine, and a heart attack. That's how you do it. And it's always the quiet ones, isn't it? It's always the quiet ones. See? Yeah, Entwistle, he went out like a rock star. Well, those 2 old poor bastards, after all their wrinkly asses around the world, sing Substitute and Hope I Die Before I Get Old. We're just relying on old material tonight. We're doing some of the classics. We're doing all the classic jokes, because no one is talking in the chat, and I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. I'll tell you what I did today. I went back out into the garden. Yeah, I charged my battery up for me mower, because I've got a battery mower. Don't ask, it's crap. And I went back and I've declared war. I've declared war on the garden. Though I like to think of it as my garden being Israel, and the gardens on either side being Palestine and Iran, and I'm kind of like stopping the blackberry from either side coming in, you know. That's how I'm framing it. I've gone to war. I'm at war with the blackberry. So yeah, that was fun. Last time I did the gardening, I said to Verity, because she was with me, she was at college today. Last time I did it, I built up a bit of a sweat, and I said, I think I deserve a guitar. And do you know what? I actually came and I bought a guitar. Purely coincidental. Today I didn't do enough work to warrant buying another guitar. I barely broke a sweat. It was okay, but I went on Amazon again and I bought a big bag of grass seed for the garden. Yeah, because we're going to try and, with Operation Restore the Lawn is go, because I've blitzed the blackberry as much as I can, and we're going back. We're gonna make the garden great again. Yeah, it's kind of McGiga, make the garden great again. McGiga. It's not as catchy as MAGA, but it's the best I can do, and hopefully Amazon don't leave my grass seed on the neighbour's back step. You're not making it easy for me. Now we're doing gardening material, and I was told by the doctor, no gardening, but I'd ignored them, because you know what? I live on the edge, folks. I'm like Evel Knievel of the 21st century when it comes to gardening. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous. Look. I got a scratch. Look. Do you see that? You see that? Look. I'm injured. Mind you, that burn scar there, I did that on the air fryer about 8 months ago. It still hasn't healed properly. Has it gone yet? Oh, at least the mark along my arm has gone. That's good. So yeah, I'm like a daredevil in the garden now. It's gonna be great. just worried the shed's going to fall apart because it's just falling apart. There was ivy growing in it and blackberry everywhere, but not the good kind of blackberry where you could actually harvest the blackberries and make a pie. No fruit at all, just thorny shit, that goes through the gloves and scratches you. Because I like blackberry, normally I like blackberry because you can put it in a pie, but there was no actual blackberry to be had. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Fucking hell, Darren, you've only got another 35 minutes to do. Maybe we just end at an hour, because these guys have all gone to sleep. They've all gone to sleep. I'm not even going, that's really funny, Darren, that's great. Not even a titter. Nothing. They've all gone to sleep out there. I don't know what you're like. Have I worn you out? I think I have. So, any more for any more? No? Okay. Gino says, I no longer listen to Disturbed due to David Draymond, the lead singer's view on Israel and signing bombs. Oh, Gino, that's terrible. You should actually be listening to more of David Draymond, because he's right. That's because, oh my God, that means you're a terrible anti-Semite. Oh, you're like the spawn of Roger Waters, aren't you? But Gino, you need to ask yourself this question. Are you willing to convert to Islam? You need to go there. You need to go there, Gino. It's really important. Are you willing to convert to Islam? You've got a choice. You either convert to Islam or they cut your head off. That's the choice. Because siding with Hamas, right, you know what they want to do? It's obvious because they've said it. They're going to destroy Israel, and then they're going to go around the rest of the Middle East, and they're going to have a lovely caliphate all in the Middle East. And that's why the likes of Egypt, Egypt, I don't want no part of that. Neither does the UAE, because they like their oil and they like their fast cars. Can't have any of that under a caliphate. And then they're gonna come to Europe. I mean, they're already here. Religious war, my friend. So you've got to decide whether you want to convert to Islam, all right, or choppy. Those are the choices. And by not listening to Disturbed, you're voting for choppy. That's not good. Now people say, but Darren, that's Islamophobic. No, because there are many kinds of Muslim in this world. God, you know that. There are Muslims who just want to live their lives. There are Muslims who love singing and dancing. One of my favourite Muslims is Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, right? The Qawwali singer. Now, him and Hamas, no good. No singing and dancing in that branch of Islam. He get choppy. I fight to defend the singing and dancing, like the whirling dervishes. I fight to defend those guys, the good Muslims, not the bad choppy fanatical Islamists. And that's who you're siding with. So that's really terrible, that. And it's real shame. Real shame, that. But war is bad. Everyone should stop fighting. But it's religion. And unless you're a good old-fashioned atheist like me, who doesn't give a fuck about this shit, they're going to kill each other. And both sides are going to continue to kill each other. It's terrible. It's never going to stop. And that's it. The end. But I'm glad we got that one cleared up. But yeah, and these are the guys. These are, I'm on the good old Daily Mail website, because our mates in Israel went out of their way to kill this lot. Now these guys are senior Hamas officials, and they live in absolute palatial circumstances. They've got private jets, they live in mansions with marble floors, they're billionaires, whilst the poor people of Gaza have hellfire rained upon them because they're expendable. It's part of the propaganda war. There you go. So there we go. There we have it. But yeah, Israel struck the Qatari capital, going after the Hamas leadership. Good stuff, isn't it? Good stuff. Oh dear. So do we have people who are not idiots like Gino? Oh dear. How long have we done now? Oh, we've done an hour. So any more for anyone? What I'm gonna do, because it is incredibly quiet, everyone's like nodded off. I'm gonna nod off too. I'm gonna skedaddle because no one wants to play. Only Gino wants to play, and I don't think we're gonna get along. Because he thinks that Israel bad, and blames his he blames his entire failure of his life on the Jews because they control everything. Terrible, isn't it? Doing a really bad job if they did, wouldn't they? You think they'd do a better job of it, wouldn't you? And yeah. Oh, I just remembered. I've got. I just see. And Gino's only had the account for 9 days. For 9 days, and do you know what? That earns you a block. Because come on, Gino. Come on, Gino. Oh dear. Oh, Gino. See, Andrew fell asleep. Anyway, seeing as Andrew's gone asleep and the rest of you are all gone quiet, I'm going to sod off because I'm sure there's plenty of other things I could be doing with my time than talking to people who are asleep. And fake accounts like Gino who doesn't really listen to Disturbed or David Draymond. He's probably just said that to get a rise because he's probably a Roger Waters fan or something. Imagine that. Imagine being a Roger Waters fan in this day and age. That's a terrible cross to bear, isn't it? But I'm going to skedaddle, and I suggest you skedaddle too. Thank you for watching. Yeah, what else is there to say? Not a lot. Just let's all not kill each other. Let's forget religion. Religion is a poison, unless you're good at it, and you don't feel like you need to kill the next man who doesn't believe in the same invisible man that you believe in. Unless you're like a really pleasant religious type, and you don't care about other people's doings, then fine, we'll get on. But we don't need any fundamentalism of any kind in the world because, well, it's just stupid, isn't it? Ideologues of any persuasion are dangerous and destructive. We all need to move beyond that. It's the 21st century, but we live in a strange time where nobody seems to really know what anything is because it's the 21st century, and it's all down to, well, the internet, social media, people's minds being pickled by whatever garbage is being thrown at them. And yeah, we all need to be a bit more sensible. We need to be a little bit more human, actually, a little bit more humane, and have a little bit more understanding of each other. But instead, here we are, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's madness, and that's where we are. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to go off now. Remember, folks, if you can't be good, be safe, but more importantly, don't tell your mother. No.